Yo, yo, welcome to Trippy Commentaries. Thanks for joining me here in beautiful Vault 111. I'm RJ. Fallout 4 is finally here. This is the sequel to one of my favorite games from the last generation of consoles. One of the big differences between this game and Fallout 3 is you really do not spend too much time in the vault at the beginning of the game. In Fallout 3, that vault is really a place where you can learn how to interact with different characters and make decisions, as well as interact with different objects. Here in Fallout 4, you're pretty much just escaping as fast as possible. I wanted to show you guys an Easter egg that you can hit before getting out of here, as well as give some of my initial reactions and impressions of probably the biggest game of 2015. Now, it's going to tell you to head into this room when you're escaping the vault. You're going to want to ignore that. You'll see in this room there is a computer in the corner. This is where you can find a Donkey Kong Easter egg. I'm a huge fan of games inside of games. This one reminds me a lot of the Easter egg from the original Black Ops, where you can find the Dead Ops arcade. Here you're going to want to select the third option. It says play tape. That will bring up the Red Menace. And this is pretty much just a recreation of the original Donkey Kong, a game I played a lot growing up. So it's definitely pretty cool to sit here in Fallout 4. How high can you get? Good question. Let's see if we can save the princess. Now, the Red Menace here, he looks like he should be called the Green Menace. He throws missiles. Oh no, watch out. Oh, that didn't hit me. He throws missiles as well as, I think, barrels. Kind of looks like Pac-Man coming after you. But it can be pretty challenging. Let's see if we can save the princess. Now, when it comes to Fallout 4, I'm pretty happy with the game. It's definitely very good. There's a couple gripes that I do have. First of all, unlike Fallout 3, like I said, you really don't spend too much time getting acquainted with the game itself and the mechanics. So for those of you who haven't played Fallout 3, it might be a little bit confusing to you. It pretty much just thrusts you out into the big exploratory environment, and then you got to find out what you want to do or where you want to go. That said, of course, having played the hell out of Fallout 3, it's actually a pretty cool thing. You don't have to spend too much time learning what you already know. But, you know, it's been so long since that game came out, I wouldn't have minded it. Yes, we are floating in the air as we save the princess. On to level 2. Have some conveyor belts to deal with. Now, once you get out into the environment, chances are the first mission that you're going to do is helping out these guys, where you're going to have to pretty much fight a huge beast of a creature, one of the toughest creatures from the last game. And that's another thing that it just thrusts you into doing. I'm not a huge fan of that. In Fallout 3, you steadily progress to get to some of those more badass characters. In this one, right off the bat, you're seeing one of the scarier creatures, and it's really an interesting scenario because I don't think you're too well equipped to deal with it. Once again, if you haven't played Fallout 3, you might be confused and you might be like, what the hell's going on? I could see some people, some noobs that aren't used to the franchise, almost giving up from the beginning, just because it could be hard. You could die a few times and not sure what to do. You almost want to backtrack and just head somewhere else. You have to get used to the VAT system, which is different than it was in Fallout 3. In that game, it just paused everything. And in this one, what are we going backwards? I thought there was one more level. I'm sure there's definitely some major differences between this and the Donkey Kong. But, oh no! Got hit in the balls there with the Pac-Man creature. Let's continue and try this one again. So, yeah, that's the two gripes that I have. I feel like it really doesn't develop the story early on. You have this cutscene that it plays that teaches you about the character that you're using. He's a veteran, and that's one of the reasons why he can go into the vault. So that definitely is, I mean, that's cool how it teaches you everything in the original video, unlike Fallout 3 where you pretty much learn everything as you go. Now, when it comes to the environment itself, you have the Commonwealth in this game. To me, it is exactly like the Capital Wasteland, which was Washington, D.C. Really no difference. They did release Fallout New Vegas, which was a good way to head out into a different environment. Of course, that being the desert. So I think heading out into this lush environment from the Northeast is definitely welcome, and I'm glad to see they brought it back. I'm not sure where else they can go, possibly with a Fallout 5. That'll take a while to get. but they probably are going to have to change it up at that point. Oh man, the hit detection is terrible in this game. What the hell? Let's try one more time. The rest of the game is definitely on point. There's a couple places that I went to where I kind of spend a lot of time exploring and didn't have a payoff. That's a little bit of a gripe, but that said, a game where there's so many different locations to explore, there's going to be some dead ends. That's for sure. One of the things they added into this game is a lot like Diablo, where you're going to find these huge boss battles, like special characters or creatures that were not in the last game, and those guys are holding on to custom weapons, and definitely rewards you a lot for finding those guys. Even though they're going to be very challenging, you know that by killing them, you're going to be rewarded a lot of loot and a very good gun. There we go. Now we have the, this is the one I was wondering, where you have to get rid of all these things to crush the Red Menace, and I believe that'll mean we beat the game. Take that, Red Menace. You are destroyed. And we have defeated Red Menace for now. I believe, yes, it's just going to restart. So I'll go ahead and take this missile to the face, and I'll meet you guys in the Commonwealth. We'll take one look as I just bring up a couple more things about the brand new Fallout 4. It is time to return to the surface and lay our eyes on the Commonwealth for the very first time. There is so much to explore. I've only scratched the surface of what this game has to offer. Make sure you guys stay tuned to Trippy Commentaries. I'll show off all of the best Easter eggs and the coolest things to find in the game. I cannot wait to explore absolutely everything. Now, there are two new features that they added that really put this one over the top. First of all, there's this new sim building mode. It's pretty crazy. We're going to walk down here and find a village called Sanctuary. That's where you begin the game before the nuke hits. Not giving away too much there. But once you get a posse to come back to this location, Sanctuary, you can then rebuild almost every house there. It's pretty crazy. From what I've heard, it really doesn't have a ton to do with the main gameplay of Fallout 4. But a game that's this massive, I feel like they're going to release some pretty amazing DLCs, and that's probably where this building sim mode will come into play. So over here, we make it back to Sanctuary, and you can pretty much destroy this entire house, use all of its resources to build a new house, or you can go in and refurbish it. It's pretty cool, and something I'm really looking forward to doing, considering I'm a big SimCity fan. Another thing they updated in this game is the VATS system. In Fallout 3, when you hit VATS, it would just freeze everything, making it a little bit cheap. It kind of felt like it took you out of some of the battles and made it a little bit easier than it should have been. Well, that's not the case here in this game. I'll show you what it does. You can see the creature is still moving, so even though it's not in real time, it is just a little bit slower. It reminds me of Chrono Trigger a little bit, for those of you who played the Super Nintendo classic, and I think that's a huge feature. That's a great function to the VAT system. It goes from being something that seemed way too unrealistic to now almost seems like you're on steroids. You know, it slows down everything. I really can't wait to get into some huge battles where I have to face off, oh, get out of here, with some multiple guys while dealing with the VAT system. It's certainly going to be interesting. The last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Fallout 4 that I think, man, takes this game to the next level, perhaps being the best game of all time. I know that's saying a lot, but we'll get into that at a future date. But now, all of the weapons that you can find can be customized. I think that's a big deal because this is an RPG at heart. It's almost been transformed into more of a first-person shooter here with the latest game. But at the same time, there's a lot of RPG elements. You have to upgrade your character, and I like how they carry that on to the weapon system. Now, of course, you can upgrade every weapon. Here's the dog. That's another new feature to the game that I wanted to get to before ending out the video. Find them here at the Red Rocket truck stop. But being able to upgrade every weapon, you know, that's just so satisfying, and it's something that you're going to want to customize your total layout. You can name the weapons, you know, maybe come out with the golden gun, something like that. a lot can be done with a custom weapon system, especially in a game that's as big as this one. Finally, you have the puppy here, Dog Meat. I'm not a huge fan of him. I mean, he's helpful, but I like being a Lone Ranger type.
What are you doing out here all by yourself?
Come here, doggy. You want to come with me? You are a mutt. I shall greet you. It's a cool dog. I mean, I like him.
Okay, then.
But, I like to feel like I'm alone, especially in some more creepy environments. That said, he's been extremely glitchy as well. He's been falling into the ground and dying every which way. So hopefully that is something that I'll get used to. Either that or maybe I can tell him to go away. I'm not really sure if you can quite yet. Dog could be better in my opinion. So thanks again for joining up for my initial reactions of Fallout 4. I hope you guys enjoy that Easter egg. Once again, stay tuned. There's going to be a ton that I have to show off. So far, so good. And man, I really cannot wait to find even more Easter eggs. That's the thing that Bethesda has always done. They put references and all kinds of different stuff into their games for you to find. It just adds a different element. Not only are you trying to beat it, but you're also trying to find something that maybe nobody else has found before. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Plenty more to come. As always, stay trippy, my friends. Later.